So this is from the bottom of St John's Road, slightly different to what it used to look like. There's new houses in the Springfield meadow. And in the distance there, the back of close to Rokefield, and then there's Wrights Road and so forth. This is the new cycle track that they put in, that's probably been here a few years now, but certainly wasn't here when I was young and growing up. And scrolling across the left here, we've come to the bottom of Watson Road, and there used to be, it seems long since gone, a plank that was the footpath or a pathway across the brook. And then here's the cycle track going eastbound towards Dorking, and how much money has been spent on that. It shows how long it's been since I've been down here. There's a new bridge here. That used to be a single plank that went across the brook, and when it was flooded it was a bit of a problem to get across. So look at that, a really nice wooden bridge, bottom of Watson Road, no expense spared. This is a cycle track heading towards Milton Court, and if we just walk along here a bit further, because I've got a tree to my left, good place to stop and do a video. And then there's Ranmore, in the distance, the trees starting to turn. Eyeglasses up there. So this is the second meadow which you'd used to walk through, but of course now we're on this pathway that's fenced in, which is a bit different. No corn in these fields at the moment, or long since gone. And here we can see in the distance up there, the eyeglasses, the trees changing colour. It's autumn, goes through into winter. Fabulous views. We just heard a train in the distance. So there is actually a track through here that goes through, I think it's called Lintz Lane, that goes through out to opposite the football pitch and the cricket club. And the house there used to be a chap called Leighton. I can't remember his surname. He used to play tennis against him at Dorking Tennis Club many years ago. And if we pan eastwards, we've got part of Milton Court Farm. One of the barns there many years ago caught fire or set alight to with who knows by who. And let's just pan back around. Of course, in these fields, or this field, many of the Westcott residents that worked at NEL, as it was then, would walk through here on their way to work. And those of you that have done that will know who you are. Which way to go? We're going to head north. So that's the track that goes through down to Unham as it is now, and we're going to go not that way. Looking sheepish today. Now up on the sandy track and looking back across the field here. Many years ago I can remember coming up here with my father when there were potatoes in the field, and we came up here. No, we didn't come up here in the dark with a sack picking up old potatoes. We didn't do that. Potatoes that hadn't been collected by the machine or whoever else, but long since gone, probably 50 years ago that was. And scrolling across a bit closer to Ranmore. And there's a footpath that goes through here. I don't remember this, whether this is new or just they've opened up an older footpath. And over on the left hand side there, in the distance there somewhere, would have been Bonwicks. And coming back to this field here, in the 1930s, I think it was this field, there was a plane that landed, that had a forced landing in this field. Fairly certain it's this field. So this is at the eastern end of the Sandy Lane, the middle lane track, looking westwards. Really not sure what's going on with this tree. Very weird. So this is the track that leads up from Milton Court, Unham, leads up to the railway lines, heading north. And now we're at the other end of the footpath. I recall this one. I used to walk back through there many, many years ago. And here we have the eyeglasses. Changing colours with the leaves. Leaves changing colours even. Fabulous. And that's looking westwards. And this is a view looking towards the east, towards Dorking, Ranmore on the left, to the north, and the railway lines running along behind that fence. And this is a bit of a closer view of Ranmore. Eyeglasses. The trees hanging onto their leaves for a little bit longer before the frost comes along. And a few conifers scattered amongst them, I don't expect. So we're at the top of the lane that goes up from Milton Court by the railway lines, and there we look through and there's Dorking, and Dorking Church, one of Dorking's churches. So now at the level crossing. Disconcerting. And then scrolling up here we have a nice fruit tree there. I'm sure the wildlife will appreciate it. That's looking up to Ranmore. And along the railway tracks, heading west. And that's a view back across towards Westcott and Springfield House that you can't see, but it's in the distance there, hidden behind trees. I don't think I've seen that sign before. A permissive footpath. And it's a view looking westwards and back in the distance is Westcott behind the trees. So it's a footpath that goes up to the coach road. So the coach road heading east, a few years since I've been up here, and the coach road heading west. And Ranmore Church is to the right as you look at that sunny day today, quite hazy, looking across to Westcott. And in the distance, Leith Hill has come back across. Train in the distance. Looking west along the coach road as autumn takes its toll. And there's a little track that cuts off back up to the top of the road. Looking out across Westcott from the coach road. A bit sunny today, a bit misty, and that is Springfield House. And bushy plat will be hidden behind the trees there. So this is looking east along the coach road, and as we look up through the trees there you can see the carpet of leaves which look pretty fabulous. And then at the top there, that will be leading up to the top of Ranmore Common and the car park and so forth. So this is looking west along the coach road. So there we have Springfield House. And I think that white building in the distance is the Crown, and this is covered in butterflies. Lots of butterflies, but actually they're ladybirds everywhere. Just to prove that there are trains that come along here. So looking eastwards, see eyeglasses and then Dorking in the distance. Now this is Lambourne Farm, where my brother Raymond worked in the 1960s. This is a little pond that's sort of a bit like an overflow really. It's on the south side of the railway lines. There used to be lots of rudd and perch in here, not sure what's in there now. It used to be completely overgrown with trees either side, long since gone. It looks nice now. So my brother Raymond worked at Lambourne Farm when Johnny Turnbull, I think he ran the farm along with Doug Farmer, and the driveway that's here was put down by my brother Raymond, and I think Dudley Sparks might have helped along the way. I don't know if Raymond put it all down, but he was certainly involved in putting the cement mixer and everything together and so forth, and that would have been around about 1963, and I can remember being around watching him doing some of the work. I was about 8 years old, so it didn't help. And is I think these are hornets. This is a tree in the next to the driveway in line leading up to Lambourne Farm. So it's a track that leads up from the end of the top of Hull Hill that leads up to the railway lines to the crossing. I think it was Anscombe's crossing where they lived. That's long since gone. And this is the entrance to Lambourne Farm. Cattle grid, railway bridge, etc, etc. And then to the right of us we've then got Hull Hill, which leads down into the village, and that's where we're going. Okay, so this is looking up Hull Hill towards Lambourne Farm, and then on the right here this is now an entrance to Bushy Platt Farm that wasn't here years ago, and down that track was where Claude Sparks used to have his yard. I don't know if he's still got something down there or not. And then all nicely tarmacked now, wasn't years ago. And then Up here, this is Whole Hill leading into Westcott. This Dean Farm used to be a pig farm, probably not anymore. And the sound, I think, of a parakeet. Maybe not. Okay, onwards we go down Whole Hill. So this part of Whole Hill, when I was probably about 10 or 11, we would get pram wheels, make a trolley, and myself and Philip Furlonger would get on our trolleys and ride down here, sometimes head first, steering with our hands. Absolute idiots. But it was fun, and hopefully a car wouldn't come. So this says Westcott Street Bridge, built 1992 by Surrey County Council. Obviously a bridge here for many, many years. So this is Springfield Farm, now turned into houses. So this is at the start of the journey and at the end of the journey of the little walk. That's the bottom of St John's Road, and then panning to the right, that's the bottom of Springfield Road. And then as we swing around to the right, the garage is at the bottom there, and there's the footpath bridge across into the fields up to Ranmore, where we've just walked.